Welcome to Work This Way, a labor and employment podcast. I'm Tina Emerson, here with Maynard Nexon attorney Keely Fresh. Good to see you, Keely.
Hi, Tina. Good to see you.
Well, we are having a good time today, and you can tell that there is a theme going on, and we will definitely get to it. But we are pleased to be joined today by Sarah Waylett. She's the Director of Product Experience for Furman University's Center for Innovative Leadership, and Dr. Clemson Turregano, a Senior Leadership Fellow with the Center. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
So good to be here.
Tell us about all this.
Oh, we're very on theme today.
We are. So the Greenville Society of Human Resource Management, their theme today is kicking up some dust. And so it's a Western theme, and as a retired cavalry officer, I had to come as the cavalry.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you are in theme for SHRM's 2026 Leadership Conference. Love it. So you both led a conference workshop yesterday entitled The Next Rider Up, Surfing the Silver Tsunami. So can you start by explaining what the silver tsunami is and why it represents such an urgent issue in today's workforce?
Sure. So the silver tsunami is a challenge within the workforce that's caused by demographics and usually attributed to senior leaders and senior workers that are leaving the workforce and how we're going to replace those senior people. Actually, it's much greater than that, and that's what our conference was all about. Really, when we're talking about the silver tsunami, it is an organizational workforce design issue that's driven by demographics. Yes, we have people that are transitioning. Many of them are seniors. Many of them are some of our highly skilled workers that are going other places. So what we want to do is we want to understand those people who are transitioning and the upcoming talent, getting them early, and our leadership within the organization so that they see that this is an organizational issue, not just an HR issue. Sarah, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the things that we tend to forget about even succession planning in general, which is the topic that we covered yesterday around the silver tsunami, is we forget about the folks who actually have to take the people's places. Right? We're so focused on the human that may be exiting for some way. We actually called it abducted by aliens yesterday.
Oh, gosh.
Because we don't want to say other things that imply other things. But if you're abducted by aliens, what happens, right? But often we focus on the person who's abducted. But really, what happens to the person stepping into the role? How are they actually getting that knowledge? How are they putting all of those skills into practice? And are we building that capacity, right? So it's a two sort of focused piece, right? How do we capture the knowledge from the person who's been there forever and has those deep technical skills, as well as all those soft skills that they've developed over time, but as well those up-and-comers who really need to develop those same things, but maybe haven't had the opportunity yet.
So building out these succession plans, how do you work with people in a way that builds trust with them, knowing that there eventually might be a rollover, a rollout, you're still recruiting, but also for the people that are there, showing that you're committed to them and they trust you?
That was a huge conversation yesterday in the room, very much so, because so often, right, we have folks that have been around forever. They may even be gatekeepers of the knowledge that they hold because they've been around forever, and that's their ticket to being sort of powerful in the organization, right? And so convincing those people that actually mentoring, sharing skills, teaching others what they know can sometimes be challenging. We heard some great ideas in the room around different ways to motivate people to share, and also really incentives as well. Honestly, I know you had a couple ideas that came up.
Oh, yeah, there was a number of ideas that came up in the room and also things that we've researched at Center for Innovative Leadership. And a lot of them have to do with honoring people's service within an organization and changing the mindset, not only of the folks transitioning, but also the leadership in the organization, recognizing that even though these people may be senior, there are different things that they can learn. So one of the things you can incentivize is with late stage education, how to be a mentor, how to share information, why that's important. And that, you take that information with you, you're not helping the organization. The best way you can help an organization is good leaders create good leaders. And when you're doing that, you're doing the best thing for the organization. And what we want to do is give you the skills, not only that you're comfortable with that, but you recognize the need to do it.
Yeah. And another key component of your presentation yesterday was the use of design thinking. So how do you define the design thinking framework, and how does that strategy help HR professionals transfer ideas into actionable
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. One of my favorite topics is design thinking, and I feel like it's applicable to almost anything because really what design thinking is creative problem solving. And it's creative problem solving that puts the human at the center. So especially perfect for HR topics of all kinds, but in this particular case, we applied it to the succession planning topic, and we work through the 5 stages. So it's empathize, which we put, literally walk a mile in the people's shoes. Who are the people that we're actually solving for? Right? And then we need to define the problem well. How often do we solve problems that are actually symptoms? An awful lot, unfortunately, right? So we really want to have a great problem statement, and then we reframe with something called a how might we. And how is really this idea that we want to get to solutions. So we want solution-oriented. Might is actually, this is all an experiment. We're going to try some things, and if it fails, we're going to learn from them, and then we're going to do something different the next time. So nothing is really black or white, success or failure. We're really like thinking creatively, right, around whatever it is that we're trying to solve for. And then we're never really solving problems by ourselves, right? We're always in, especially in organizations, but as humans, we always have someone else to lean on, right? Our team, our colleagues, our leaders, whoever that might be, to help us solve the problem in a really creative way. So what we looked at for all of those things, right, then we went into ideation, which was really about knowledge transfer, particularly, right? How do we transfer knowledge? And then finally we did some prototyping and testing. And in this case, the prototype was the succession plan itself. Like what happens when this high-risk individual who has a ton of knowledge actually does say, hey, I'm going to retire. I've got one on my team right now, right next to me. And, we're thinking about the same things.
I'm the surfer.
He did not expect me to say that. But we're thinking about this, right? So, and then the test, right? The test is, okay, well, they're gone. What happens, right? And how does our plan actually hold up? What fails? What breaks? And then when we think about those things in advance, we can actually plan for them. So it becomes a risk management exercise, right? Where we can actually understand, okay, we have a plan in place. What happens when the plan actually needs to put into effect? And then how do we make sure we move forward?
And the cool thing about the way Sarah led this yesterday with 100 people in the room is that you walk through this process, and using Menti and a few other technological things, we were able to capture the wisdom in the room. So we were able to get a lot of information in, everything from knowledge transfer to the key piece that I just love that she brought up is that idea about risk management, because that's where everybody is. Can we afford to lose someone even though time moves on? Okay, and understanding that risk management aspect, and then doing it quickly, and then turning around, finding out how that went, and then going through the process again. This is not a one-time thing. This is a cyclical, systemic approach to addressing challenges across the workforce, not just in the demographics, but across the workforce. And that's why the organizational leadership plays such a key role. And they can continue to get information as it goes forward, up-to-date information. That's the real power of design thinking.
Yeah. Risk management is definitely forward thinking, and having this framework in place is so important. I see this a lot with people didn't think it would happen to them. So what kind of tools or practical knowledge do you think are as important for companies to have in place before that key person leaves?
Yeah, so one of the things we talked through yesterday is the two-sided, right, approach. So the first piece is really, and we did some exercises in our ideation around this yesterday, but capturing that tacit knowledge, like all the different ways that you can actually do that over time. And, what's really cool and came up in the room is that in the age of AI, we can capture that knowledge, we can transcribe those things, we can actually have an electronic record in a way that we have never been able to have before, that actually can become the way that we train others, right, and look for those opportunities for transfer. And the other side of that is really just building that successor capability, right? Who are the folks that are the hypos, right, the high potential folks that are gonna want to grow in the organization and then eventually take those roles on when it's time, and really thinking about, right, what are those assignments that they need to have? What do they need to do to understand different types of roles in the organization, depending on where their specialty is or whether they're a more broad individual. So really thinking about that, we talked a lot about mentoring. Mentoring actually shows up on both sides, right? Because it is both a knowledge transfer piece as well as a way for us to bring people up and really pair people off. Anything else that I missed?
And the other piece that comes into play that was a key thing that came out of yesterday was that organizational mindset of knowledge transfer, that no one has all of the information. You possess information for the benefit of the organization and benefit of our clients and benefit of citizens. And so our role within the organization is to share that, to collaborate, to boundary span leadership, and make sure that other people know, so that yes, if you're abducted by aliens, other people can step in and the organization has sustained competitive advantage. Without that sustained competitive advantage, the enterprise fails. And you're a part of that. Nobody wants to be in that position. So we want to share that information, and not only just with our friends, we want to share that with the upcoming talent as well.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of participants here over this conference, and what is one thing that you'd love for them to take back to their organizations?
That the silver tsunami is not an HR problem. This is a leadership demographic issue, and it involves entire workforce design. It involves the leadership, it involves, yes, the people who are transitioning, and yes, upcoming talent, all working together for that sustained competitive advantage for the organization.
Yeah, I would say for me, it's more than baby boomers retiring, right? And we heard that in the room. It's really about making sure that there isn't any single point of failure in the organization, and that we are cultivating great leaders at the younger generations, the ones who are going to take over. And again, I think often we focus on the folks that are exiting and then don't necessarily equip the folks that need to come up and learn those skills the way that we should. So that's what I would leave you with.
And I'm smiling because we are cultivating great leaders who are different from the leaders who might be, and that's a good thing.
Organizations evolve all the time.
Organizations evolve.
Yes.
Technological competence evolves, comfort evolves, and with that, better ideas for sustained competitive advantage.
That's great. I can tell how passionate you are about what you do, and we love it. I love your energy. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here with us
Keely,
today.
Tina, thank you very much.
Really
Of course.
appreciate being here.
Yeah, well, I hope that you have a great rest of the conference, and we will see you next time on Work This Way.